Hey guys, welcome to another news update here on Buzzing Pattaya, and to follow on from last week's very first edition of me covering the news and local news about what's been going on in the last week. Now, last time I did this video, I put some overlay on, I put some video footage. I had quite a few people come back to me and say, Trev, better just to talk to us directly rather than us watching video footage, because it kind of makes us drift away from the subject we're talking about. So today I'm going to just be me. I'm sorry, so if you are feeling a bit fragile, you've had a few beers and you don't really want to stare at my ugly mug, I don't blame you. But anyway, today I thought, well, let's try this way and see how this compares to the one we did last week. And let me know, guys, do you want overlays or do you want this? It really is entirely up to you. So, been a busy week. Obviously, there's a lot of talking points. The two main ones that we're going to discuss in a bit is obviously the Thai pass, the relaxation of the restrictions here, and of course the brutal and physical assault of Gary Reid, who was a gentleman that was attacked in a gymnasium for using a weight bench. And there's a few other things anyway, so I thought, well, what we'll do is we'll go through them step by step and have your say, guys. What do you think? I'm just going to break each one down into bits and pieces and just kind of like give it a different twist and maybe give you other things to think about. All right, so first one, it has to be the June the 1st is the relaxation of the laws here in Pattaya in terms of, well, in Thailand, in terms of nightlife. So what they're going to do now is that as of June the 1st, bars, pubs, massage places, yes, the ones that are soapies, and other entertainment are legally allowed to reopen as of the 1st of June. Now, what they did say was, obviously, in the past, those said places were actually converted into restaurants and allowed to open anyway, but now they don't need to be a restaurant, they can actually be what they set out to be. Does that not kind of like make you think, well, why didn't they just leave it as it was in the past anyway? I don't know, but anyway, that's the way it is. But what they aren't letting us do, and there's still a lot of local businesses that are busy, hard campaigning, trying to get this through, is we're still stuck with the midnight mandatory closing hours. And they're trying to get that revamped. They're trying to look at a 1 a.m., possibly a 3 a.m. Opening, or sorry, until that time to close, which does step us in the right direction. I mean, I have to say, I don't know what their logic is. Maybe you guys can help me on this one. You know, obviously we know that COVID doesn't come out at 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's why you've got to be safely tucked up in bed. Is it because the extra hours, maybe you might have a few too many beers and then be disrespectful or disregarding of any of the rules and regulations that are currently in place? Not quite sure how that would work, but certainly, you know, going back home at 12 or closing these premises at 12, and I do say the word close lightly, but you know, by shutting these places down at that said given moment in time, instead of allowing them to open till 1 or till 3 as they are trying to push for, you know, is it really necessary? What does that achieve? You know, giving people the opportunity to stay open a bit longer, well, that gives them an opportunity to earn a bit more money, gives you guys the opportunity to stay out more and enjoy yourself. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that they do something. They are saying, sadly, they are saying and have announced this publicly that they are not prepared to change anything until the end of July regarding the opening hours. So I don't know, you know, watch this space, let's see what happens. Maybe with a bit of pressure, maybe with a bit of good fortune after they've relaxed this law on the 1st of June, maybe things will start to show good progress and they might bring it forward. We can only but hope. Now, let's talk about this one then. So there's a Russian tourist, okay? Now, you may not be aware of this. There was a Russian lady, she was jogging around the Mapachan Lake. Now, that's the lake, the big lake that I show you quite often on my videos. Now, she's happily minding her own business. She's jogging around the lake, and unfortunately, she was subjected to an attack by a 37-year-old Thai man. And in true tradition, what happened was he was subsequently caught and arrested. And she's still, unfortunately, in hospital. She's not in, well, she's okay, but she's not brilliant, as you can imagine. So they questioned the guy, and here was his response. He says here, I admitted the assault, but in my defense, I was stressed about personal family affairs and debt, so I wanted to vent it on someone. I mean, I can't laugh because, you know, to be fair, the poor lady that originally they thought it was a sexual offence, but it turns out it wasn't. But you know, that poor lady, she's running around the lake and suddenly someone just has a go at her for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that he was stressed about his family situation and debts. I mean, seriously, come on. You know what I mean? I mean, that just opens the floodgate to everybody and anybody to utilise that excuse and try and play their card on the table and say, well, you know, it worked for him, mate, so maybe it's the same for me. But can you imagine just jogging around, suddenly someone has a go at you and you're like, what on earth is that about? Now, do you like my pencil? Incidentally, pencils very quickly. Who can write more? I can write a lot neater and nicer with a pencil than I can with a pen. Why does that happen? I don't get that. Do you have the same thing? Can you do that? I don't know. It's really weird. If I write a pencil, it's very pretty. Very pretty. But if I write with a pen, it's awful. Anyway, yeah, so that. Now, talking about attacks. What on earth is going on? Now, I was with Brian Flowers the other day when the attack took place. Brian very kindly offered me the opportunity to interview Gary first, but I declined only because, number one, you know, listen, I'm not a news channel as such, so I didn't think it was appropriate. And number two, I knew that every other YouTuber in the world would be climbing over each other to get there. And I just said, look, mate, thank you very much. Very kindly to allow me the opportunity to go and speak to Gary first, but, you know, I'll leave it to everyone else. And subsequently, if you haven't heard about Gary's ordeal, which I'll explain about now, then you've probably been under a rock. So, talking about Gary. So there's Gary. Gary Reid, he's a 46-year-old male. He was exercising in Coco's gym and just doing his own thing, minding his own business, was doing his sets. And he was utilising a bench. There was a bench there. Now, if you Google this, you'll see the video. I won't show it on here, but if you Google Gary Reid attack, you'll see the video. And basically, he's there exercising. There's clearly other benches available, but the said bench that Gary was using, this particular man that was in the gymnasium as well took a liking to this bench and wanted to use it. And you can see in the video that Gary's got his equipment there, he's got everything in place. So it's not like he's just randomly grabbed this bench without any thought. It was already pre-planned, he had all his stuff there. So you can't hear what they're saying, but basically it looks like this guy is saying to Gary, look, I want to use that bench. And Gary's saying, well, there's 3 others, mate, you know, and I have got my stuff here. So that was it. So Gary gets on the bench, lays down, puts his, looks like an EZ bar on there, he's doing his bench. And this guy that he's had an argument with decides to go over to the rack, the dumbbell rack. He picks up a 1 kilogram dumbbell, runs over and punches him straight on the head while he's on his back with a weight here, and he's punched him straight on there. Consequently, he split the guys up. He's caused him some serious damage, over 60 stitches. He's paying out a fortune at the moment. There's plastic reconstruction surgery. It turns out Gary doesn't have insurance to cover the said surgery, so I believe there is a GoFundMe page available if anyone wants to help him. But yeah, so he was subjected to a very brutal and, in all fairness, what could have been a very dangerous, life-threatening attack. You know, you hit someone with a 1 kilogram dumbbell on the top of the head. I mean, seriously, what goes on? And when he hit him, obviously Gary's got up very quickly off the bench, and the two have had a bit more of a tussle. You can see the guy trying to hit him a few more times. Eventually, Gary overpowers him, and the guy flees and leaves the gym and is on the run. So he hasn't handed himself in as far as I'm aware right now. That may have changed by the time this video is out, but at the time of saying this to you, he hadn't identified himself and handed himself in, which is pretty silly really, because at the end of the day, the gym does have his photograph, it's on video, they do have his details, so I'm sure the police will be going knocking on his door and they will eventually get hold of him. But you know, the guy's, that's going to be charged as attempted murder, I would imagine, and you know, over a bench. And I know when you go in the gym, you know, testosterone levels are high and all the rest of it because you're pumping and grinding and doing all the things you want to do and trying to get the best out of your session. But seriously, over a bench, I mean, honest to God, and there was other benches available. So have any of you guys been in the gym where you've seen something kick off over what is probably the most random things ever? Certainly, I mean, in all the, I know I'm fat now, but I never used to be, but in all the years I've been in the gyms, I've never had any of those situations, and God forbid that happens again. But yeah, could you imagine it? A 1 kilogram, smashed him straight on the top of the head, split his eye open, all over putting his bench down. Now, who thought putting towels down on sunbeds when you're over in Spain was dodgy? Well, now it's down to weight training benches. So yeah, so that's Gary. Now, this one did make me laugh a little bit. So this has made the paper. I mean, honestly, you know, I really do respect all of the newspapers here because they have a tremendous job trying to find content and bringing news and information to you. But this one made the news. And, oh, man, let me light's gone on 1 second. Yeah, this one made the news. And this was that on Second Road in Soi 17, there is a laundry facility, a laundry service. And that this foreign man's taken in 11 items, and when his Thai wife went to pick it up, they charged her 500 baht. Now, she's kicked right off. They had to remove her from the premises. She was saying, you're just ripping him off because he's a Falang and all the rest of it, and it should only be 20 to 30 baht per item. He's giving you 11 items, so it should be 200 to 240 baht. Why have you charged him 500? And it's gone on. This has really made like a massive big impact. There's loads of people kicking off about it now. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the warning signs here have to be, make sure you agree the price before you hand over your garments. Because, you know, if he'd have walked in and said, look, here's 11 items, how much? And she said 230 baht. Well, you need to make sure you get that written down. So just say to her, look, can you write that down on a piece of paper for me? And I'll come out and I'll pay that said bin. If you just go, here's my laundry, sweetheart, and walk out the door, well, you are opening yourself up to abuse. It really isn't rocket science. You really are putting yourself in that situation. So again, you know, make sure you confirm what you're about to do before you do it. So at least you've got a get out of jail card if she does try to overcharge you at a later date. So yeah, so be careful when you're getting your smalls washed that they don't cost you an arm and a leg. Honestly. All right, now some good news. Now this is good news. I covered this video, I covered this event last time it was allowed, and you'll be pleased to know, and if you're here in October, trust me, you're going to be really happy that you are here. So the Bikini beach race is to go ahead in October, and it's to promote the take care of health attitude. Absolute rubbish. So it's taking care of health. It's nothing to do with watching at least 1,000 ladies in nicely tuned bikinis running up and down the beach. I mean, I did this event last time it was done. I've got to say to you, yes, it was very colourful. It was very entertaining. It was nice to be a part of it. I wasn't running, I was videoing it. I'm not that silly. And of course, there were lots of ladies and people taking part. Some of these people, the guys, were taking it very seriously, and they were sprinting. I mean, the guy that won it, my lord, I mean, I don't think I'd have kept up with him on my motorbike. But they are putting it on. It is going to go ahead. If you are here, check out the details because it really is worth going to see. It's a great fun. It's a great spectacle. And of course, as you would expect, there's lots of eye candy. And it starts quite late in the afternoon and goes through to the early evening, just obviously because of the heat here. But yeah, get yourself down there. I'll put a link in the description below. Have a look on it. But yeah, the Bikini beach race is going to go ahead in October. You heard it here. See you there, guys, because I will be there. How many times have I said on the channels? Many, many times. Guys, stop bringing all your bling with you. It doesn't need it. You know, this city does not need you to show off expensive jewelry. It really is just opening you up for a target. As an Indian man found out very recently, he was walking along Beach Road with some friends. They were accosted by some ladyboys, and one of the ladyboys engaged in conversation and was offering certain services, and she gave the guy a hug. And how you interpret the hug is down to you, but basically she's given him a hug and removed his chain, his 50,000 baht gold chain, without any knowledge. And it was only when he got back to his apartment that he realized that the said chain was missing and that in fact he'd been robbed. Now, a couple of things, I suppose, I mean, I don't know, I don't wear jewelry, as you know. Would you not notice that before? Surely you would. I don't know, but clearly this guy says he didn't. Don't allow people to hug you and to touch you if you don't know them. If you're walking down Beach Road and the girls walk up to you and they might touch your hand, it might be the hand where your watch is. You know, it might be a hand where your bracelet is. They might put a hand on your neck round here. It might be where your chain is. You know, don't let people get personal with you unless you know them, or that's the reason for you to go and engage in contact with them. Because they are very sharp, these girls. They're very good operators. And as this guy sadly has found out, and is not going to get his necklace back, as he's found out, you know, it happens. And it's easy for us to say, oh, well, it wouldn't happen to me. But if you allow people to keep touching you, you know, you imagine walking down Beach Road and 3 or 4 lady boys come and say hello to you, and they're very forward, you know, they're not shy. And they walk up, and, oh, hello, sexy man, they put their arm around, want to be touching you, want to be feeling you, and all the rest of it, and taking your mind off of what's going on. You know, if she's cupping your meat and 2 veg, you're not going to be thinking about someone with her hand around your neck. So do you see what I'm saying? They are very clever at how they divert your attention. And then suddenly you've lost it. So my message, guys, is please don't bring valuable jewelry with you. It doesn't need it. You know, you're just opening yourself up to become a target. As sadly, this guy's found out, and you know, unfortunately, that's it. It's gone, done and dusted. And I don't know, but I would guess, knowing most insurance companies, for you to claim for that kind of claim probably will cost you more in the premium increases than it will in actually to get your money back to replace your gold necklace. So guys, don't let people touch you, and don't get close with gold. It's not needed. The Outback Bar. Now, if you're not sure where the Outback Bar is, it's one of the videos I did not so long back. I was up on Soi Siam country, and they've got a all-purpose built cricket net at the back there, which they've built. And it's currently been closed. However, it's been reopened now, which is great news. So if you are into cricket, they do play cricket at a good level. And I'm not sure 100%, so please check beforehand, but I'm pretty certain when I say this, that visitors and guests are welcome to come and play. I don't think you need to be like signed on, so in effect they can play a ringer and all that kind of, I think. Don't hold me to this, I might be wrong. But anyway, even if you can't play in the actual team, but you'd like to go down and have a swing with the old Willow, well then get yourself up to the Outback Bar. It's on Soi Siam country, it's at the very, very far end. Go there, go and see Andre, he's a really nice guy. They've got a pool table, they've got a lovely restaurant, good food, good beers, nice big space, good ambience, plenty of parking. But as I say, they do have a official all-purpose cricket a cricket net for you to go up there and do your thing and, well, show the world how good you are. All right, lastly, now this is another step in the right direction, is that the Bansurae beach expansion and port is getting a huge influx of money, and they're pushing hard to build this. Now, if you go out of Pattaya, you head towards Banampur. Banampur is not too far down the road. It's a great little place. Keep going, that takes you down to Bansurae. Now, Bansurae, they have like a public park there. They've got lots of things going on. It's a really, really nice part of the area. I will go and cover this on a video in the not too distant future. But anyway, they're building a new port and they're trying to develop the area. So that's great news for people, because obviously that means more boat trips and things like that. If you are into your boat trips, head down to Ocean Marina, go see Scott Finston. They've got boat charters that go out every day. It's really, really nice. They go over to all the lovely islands that are only a stone's throw away from where we are here. So please go check that if that's your thing. And as I say, if you haven't been to Bansurae, go down, take a look. I will pop down there. I will do a video down there in the not too distant future. But the good news is that they're bringing out some expansion plans, and they're going to develop the port, which is only great news for us. All right, so that's about it for this week. I don't really want to go on too much about it. The trouble is with news is it all seems most negative, and that's not what I really like. I don't like to be negative, but anyway, that's how it is. So just to recap, June the 1st, don't forget nightlife can legally reopen, but you're still going to have to be tucked up in bed at midnight. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but they are trying to get it from 1 a.m. or 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. closure. Let's see what they do with that. The Russian tourist, I was just stressed. I needed to vent my anger. I was stressed. Is that okay? Honestly, please, Your Honor, please. Gary Reid, I mean, man, 60 stitches just for using a bench in Coco's gym. I mean, honestly, I hope they catch the guy and he's dealt with accordingly. Check your underwear, 500 baht to get your smalls washed. You know, just make sure you agree it before you give your stuff over. The Bikini Beach Race, you heard it here, guys. October, pencil that in. If you need a reason to be here, that's a good enough reason. Get yourself out here. Jewelry, guys, leave it at home. 50,000 baht the guy's lost, all because the lady boys give him a hug, managed to take his necklace off without him even realizing. So guys, leave your expensive jewelry behind. We don't need it here. All you fellow cricketers, get yourself up to the Outback Bar. They've got an all-purpose, all-terrain training net. Go in there, have a go, show the world what you like. And don't forget, Bansurae. Bansurae is under development. Watch this space. Video to come out in the not too distant future. All right, so how is this format? Do you prefer me just talking to you straight, or would you rather having overlays and just random videos playing while I talk? Let me know, guys. I don't mind. This is your channel. You tell me how it works best for you, and we'll go with that. All right, that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. This week, we've got some good videos coming up. We've also got a question on where, and don't answer it here, please, guys. Do not answer it here. But where, in your opinion, is the best breakfast here in Pattaya? That is going to open up a can of worms, or should I say a can of beans? Who knows? Let's see. All right, that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out our members area and Discord. Check out Discord. We've got over 15,500 members. It really is a fantastic platform, completely free of charge. And if you'd like to support the channel, there is a link in the description below. Membership here starts from as little as 89 pence a month. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as always, stay safe.